especially how it is helpful, and especially in diabetes, how they can actually help you maintain your blood glucose levels, right? So just let me share my screen. I hope everyone can see the screen.
It's not yet visible.
Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's just,
loading.
yes, it's loading.
Okay.
Yes, we can see your screen now, Paakhee.
Okay, thank you so much. So, first thing that comes into our mind, probably the gut health, probably the gut microbiome, because that is what it is usually linked to. It is always said that, you can have a lot of prebiotics, you should have a lot of probiotics. It'll actually maintain your gut.
So sorry to interrupt you, Paakhee, but I think your voice is breaking. Are you able to hear me? Paakhee, are you able to hear me? Uh, just give us a minute, everyone. Just give us a minute. The coach is facing a little bit of technical issues. She'll be joining us shortly. Yeah, am I audible now, Paakhee?
Yeah, you're audible. I'm so sorry. I think there was some network glitch. I'll just
No.
re-share my screen.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, just give me a minute. I hope it's visible now.
It's still loading.
Okay.
Yes, we can see it now.
Okay, yeah. So, like we were discussing about gut microbiome, right? So, basically, what is gut microbiome and how it actually helps you to maintain the gut health is what we will basically talk about. So, gut microbiome actually refers to the trillion of microorganisms and bacteria or fungi or viruses that are present in your digestive tract. Yes, you heard it right. They're actually present in your digestive tract and they help you build a lot of immune functions and digestion, mood, metabolism, and overall health. Right. So there are both kind of microorganisms that are present. It can be good, it can be bad, right? But the balance is what is really important when we talk about the gut microbiome. Okay, so when we talk about diabetes and gut health, it is very important to understand that the balance of this microbiome is really important. And any imbalance would be called as dysbiosis, which will cause inflammation and it will actually increase the risk for diabetes. Okay, so when we talk about the gut microbiome composition and how it can actually impact the insulin sensitivity, there have been a lot of studies that have actually been done on this, right? And when we talk about it, one thing, major thing that comes into play is the carbohydrate metabolism. When we say carbohydrate metabolism, it is the metabolism which actually produces or provides energy to you in the cells. Okay, so the carbohydrate metabolism is something which will provide your cells, basically all the cells in the body will provide you all the energy. So how carbohydrate metabolism actually works and how is that affecting your blood glucose levels? So when we say providing energy, so definitely there would be a breakdown and a formation of the glucose that will be involved and which will be directly linked to the type of food you are intaking. Okay. So that is how it will directly affect your sugar levels. Okay. So when we say that there is an imbalance in the gut microbiome, that means it might be that you might have eaten something maybe a lot more rich in carbohydrates, a lot rich in sugars, a lot dense in calories, which has actually disturbed the metabolism or it has actually disturbed the gut microbiome. Okay. So when we say that there would be a dysbiosis, there would be an imbalance and it would disturb the carbohydrate metabolism, which eventually would increase the risk for diabetes. Okay. Now, coming on to probiotics. So we have been hearing about probiotics. What is probiotics? Like you should take probiotics. It is very important in everything. So does anyone actually understand that what the basic terminology for probiotics is? When we talk about probiotics, these are the live microorganisms that actually, when taken in proportionate amounts would actually help you to maintain your health, will provide a good gut balance, right? And would help you maintain your gut microbiome, eventually helping you maintain your sugar levels. Okay. So these are the certain sources for probiotics. So curd is one thing, yogurt is one thing. We have been hearing that you should take dahi, you should take curd, right? That will also include your buttermilk because it is made from, again, made from curd as well, right? All your fermented sources, all your fermented vegetables, right? All the pickles that we say, right, which are fermented, not the one with the oils and everything, but the fermented pickles are something different. Fermented vegetables are something different. Okay, that would be included in the sources. The sauerkraut. The sauerkraut is something which is made by cabbage, and it has been stored and fermented for quite some time with live bacteria, and then it is eaten. Okay, kimchi is another source, kefir is another source, kombucha is another source. So these are the sources of the probiotics which should be actually be taken and ingested, because all of these are having the live bacteria which will actually promote your gut health, which will actually support your gut health and eventually manage your blood glucose levels. right? When we were talking about the benefits of probiotics, like I said, it'll help you improve the gut microbiome by increasing the good bacteria, right? It is very important to maintain balance, like we talked, right? If the balance in the gut microbiome, there's a lot of chances which will affect your glucose levels, and eventually it will lead to inflammation and many other problems, right? It'll also help you improve the immune function. The probiotics actually help you improve the immune function as well, because your immunity is always related to your gut, right? We usually say if a person's gut is not healthy, he might not be very immune to certain diseases, right? He might catch cold, cough, fever a lot often, right? Because his immune system will be affected by the gut. Okay. The third thing, and the most important, it would definitely prevent and reduce the chronic bowel movements, right? When we talk about chronic bowel movements, we usually say a lot of diarrhea. If a person is having diarrhea, the doctor or your nutritionist, right, always tells you to take curd, to take dahi. Why? Because it is having the good bacteria, which will actually help you heal. It will actually help your gut to heal, and it will reduce the amount of frequent bowel movements that you're currently having. Fourth, when we talk about the oral health and digestion, yes, definitely those live bacteria would help the digestion, would help you improve your digestion in a more better way. Okay. The fifth, it is seen to improve mood and reduce stress. Now, this is something which is new, right? We have to really focus on this, that actually eating probiotics will help you elevate your mood, and it will reduce the stress levels, which is true. Because if your gut system would be healthy, because your enteric system, your gut system is directly related to your brain, right? And if that, when we say that there is a connection between the two, then there, that means it is definitely, there's definitely a connection between having a healthy meal and feeling stress free, right? So these are the another, this is the another important aspect of having probiotics, right? Now, when we talk about prebiotics, what are they? Now we talked about probiotics. We know that dahi and all the fermented, vegetables, sauerkraut, kimchi, and everything is the source of probiotics. But now, when we talk about prebiotics, these are actually rich sources of fiber. These are non-digestible food ingredients present in your daily food items that you're already taking, and which actually promotes the colon in your colon a healthy bacteria, right? And improves your health overall, right? They metabolize and help the growth for the beneficial bacteria. Okay, so basically what is prebiotic? It is something which will help the colon to grow healthy bacteria more, right? And it will actually metabolize their growth more. So the sources that you are generally taking in your day-to-day life, onions, I'm sure onion, garlic is something which everyone would have had, right? Green leafy vegetables, right? Oats is the most talked about these days. It was a millet year. 2023 was a millet year. So oats is something I'm sure everyone would have heard of, everyone would have taken, right? Seeds. Again, we say omega-3, omega-6 fatty acids would be provided by the seeds, but it is again a very good source of prebiotic as well. It'll help you heal your gut. It'll promote the growth of good bacteria, right? So again, seeds is another important thing. When we talk about dark chocolates, now, okay, everyone would be saying, how can we take dark chocolates? How can we take chocolates? Now, these are the chocolates which are actually dark. These are not those Amulka chocolates, or not those chocolates that are present in the market, right? These are mostly 100% or almost 90% dark chocolates we are talking about here. Okay. Now, the legumes, the pulses, the dals, which you usually prepare at our household, right? That is again a good source of prebiotic. Your leeks, your green onion, right? So that is again a really good source of prebiotic. So all these are the really good sources of prebiotic when we talk about the prebiotics. And I'm sure everyone would have had taken all of these things, right? Now, what are the benefits of prebiotics? Like I told you, it would actually help you promote the growth of good bacteria, which will reduce the constipation and improve the transit time. When we talk about transit time, what is actually the transit time? So transit time is something which basically you have taken a food, suppose you have taken a meal, how long the meal is taking through your through all of your digestive system till it passes out, right? So that is the transit time, how much amount of time the food is taking to be in your system or get digested by your system, right? That is the transit time. So it improves the transit time, which will eventually reduce the constipation, right? Again, these are a really good sources of fiber as well. So reducing constipation would be another thing, right? So definitely we can say all the green leafy vegetables are a real good source of fiber, which will actually help you reduce your constipation, right? It reduces short chain fatty acid, SCFA, right? Which reduces or lowers the colon cancer risk, right? Now see how important is having a prebiotic currently, right? It'll actually help you produce the short chain fatty acids, which will actually reduce the risk of colon cancer, right? So again, very important, right? The third thing, it influences blood glucose and insulin levels positively. If you are taking a fiber rich meal, right? If you are taking good amount of prebiotics in your meal, it will actually influence the blood glucose. I'm sure your coaches might have told you, or you might have heard, always take salad with your meal. Always take salad with your meal. Why we focus on that? Because it has a good amount of fiber. It has a good amount of prebiotics. It'll actually help you reduce the insulin level or reduce the blood glucose level post meal spikes, especially. Okay. The fourth thing, when we talk about it improves mineral absorption and immune function. Yet again, prebiotics, as we say, it'll definitely improve the mineral absorption. Okay. The fifth thing, it improves cholesterol and lipid metabolism. Again, very important. People with diabetes have usually been seen with an elevated cholesterol level. That is, there is a link between the two, right? So definitely it is very important to take prebiotics because it is managing both the things. It is balancing both your health conditions very properly. So again, taking prebiotics would be really very important, right? Now, as we discussed in the previous slides, how do they actually help the people with diabetes? How do they actually help you maintain a healthy system? It will improve the fasting glucose levels for sure, and it will improve and reduce the post meal spikes as well, right? So, probiotics is something which will improve your fasting glucose, and prebiotics will actually improve your post meal glucose because it will definitely improve the transit time. It has a lot of fiber content. That is why it is helping with the post meal spikes, right? The third thing we talk about, pre and probiotics both actually help modify the gut microbiome and maintain the glucose homeostasis. So, glucose homeostasis is something, a glucose balance inside the body. If a gut microbiome is healthy, right, as we discussed, it would be really directly affecting the glucose levels. It'll definitely improve the glucose homeostasis, right? The prebiotics is actually helping you, the helping for the growth of a good bacteria in the body, right? Probiotics is supporting the good growth of good bacteria, right? So both of these taken together, right, will actually improve the inflammation inside the body, will treat the dysbiosis of the gut, right? Will improve and modify the gut microbiome, which will eventually help you maintain or improve the glucose homeostasis, right? So these are the things which we have to focus on. The fourth thing, the probiotics help improve the good bacteria. As we said, as we talked about, it would help improve the good bacteria in the gut and improve digestion. Again, when your digestive system is healthy, when your digestive system is working how it is supposed to, it will definitely maintain a glucose homeostasis. Your blood sugar levels would automatically be maintained, right? It is very important to have a healthy meal, which is in having pro and prebiotics. Why? Because it will maintain a healthy gut. Once a healthy gut, would definitely maintain the all the other functions in the body. Your nutrient absorption would be improved, your glycemic control would be improved, your insulin sensitivity would increase, right? The insulin resistance would actually reduce and the sensitivity will increase. The body will become more susceptible to the insulin, to the food you're eating, right? So again, why and how it helped with people with diabetes is how we discussed. It will actually maintain a healthy gut. Once a healthy gut would definitely maintain a lot of other functions, including your glycemic control, including your insulin sensitivity as well, right? Now, what are the basic tips that we have to keep in mind when we talk about the pre and the probiotics? Make sure you are looking for active cultures whenever you're buying anything of a probiotic, right? Because these are having live bacteria ingested, right, in proper proportionate amounts. Make sure you're reading the labels well, right? What type of things you actually are suiting you, or what type of things would not suit you, right? You have to be really careful and you have to actually read the label when you're buying yogurts, when you're buying curd, right? Make sure you're reading the labels very properly, right? Again, eat raw vegetables as they contain insoluble fiber and they'll act as a prebiotic. We always say make sure the 50% of the plate is something which is included with the vegetables. I am sure you would now definitely maintain at least the 25% of the plate with the raw vegetables and the rest 25% with the sabzi or any cooked vegetable or any sauteed vegetable, right? Raw vegetable would definitely contain a lot of insoluble fiber, which will definitely help you maintain the levels and maintain the glucose levels inside the body because they act as a prebiotic. The third thing we talk about would be make sure any probiotic food like sauerkrauts, fermented vegetables are usually made at home. Because if you will purchase it from the market, अगर आप उसको market से purchase करो and you're purchasing it loose, right? You're purchasing that thing from a vendor which is who is selling it loose, right? It is not in a proper packaging, not the sealed containers, right? They, because since they have microorganisms, so there is a possibility that there would be a culture growth of microorganisms, which is not good. Okay, so make sure wherever you're buying it from, or even if you're preparing it at home, to make it and keep it in a good airtight containers, right? Which will not actually promote the growth of bad microorganisms in the culture that you are preparing, in the sauerkraut, in the fermented vegetables that you're preparing at home. Or even if whenever you're buying from outside, please make sure you're buying it from a trusted brand or trusted source for that matter. Okay. The fourth thing, sugar and artificial sweeteners definitely impact your gut microbiome. Like we like sweets, definitely all the bad bacteria also feed on sugars, right? If you will be taking sugars or any other high carbohydrate source in larger amount in your diet, it'll definitely impact your blood glucose level. It'll definitely make a gut disbalance inside the body, right? Because the bad bacteria feeds on sugar. The bad bacteria feeds on high sources of carbohydrate, right? So just make sure you are taking into proportionate amounts the amount of carbs that is required, right? Trying to avoid sugar and artificial sweeteners, because again, this would not be of any help, right? It'll definitely increase or basically make a disbalance inside your gut. Okay, so make sure you're not doing that. Another thing, whenever you're going for a supplement, right? Make sure whatever strain you're buying for the supplement, because there are a lot of microorganism and there are a lot of probiotic supplements present in the market, right? Especially people who are having any irritable bowel syndrome issues or any digestive issues, right? Just make sure you're consulting with your healthcare provider, with your healthcare professional before ingesting any kind of supplements, right? And even if after starting a prebiotic supplement, you're feeling any kind of discomfort, right? You're feeling that this is something which is causing you bouts of vomitings, nausea, right? Causing a frequent, frequent urination, which might actually affect your UTI, urinary tract, which can cause UTI, right? Make sure you reevaluate it because that strain might not be the best suited to you. Before taking or supplement, please make sure you're consulting with your doctor, nutritionist for that matter, right? All right. Thank you so much. This was it from my end. I'll just stop sharing my screen.
Yeah, thank you so much, Paakhee. It was such a great presentation. Hope all of the audience found it really, really useful, right? And actually, we can do a small Q&A now. We do have some time
Sure.
remaining. So there are a couple of questions already in the chat. I'll just quickly read them out to you so you can, take it up.
Yeah.
So the first question is, are nuts also prebiotics?
See, when we talk about nuts, right, like I said, seeds would be a source of